Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Our goal for this session is incredibly practical and honestly a lot of fun, especially if you're studying English right now in Brazil. We're going to learn exactly how to talk about city life, city transport, and most importantly, how to complain about city problems in English just like a native speaker. By the time we wrap up, you'll have the perfect vocabulary and grammar toolkit to confidently describe your very own city.
So, here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. City transport, 2. Rush hour, 3. Countable versus uncountable nouns, 4. Too much and too many, 5. Not enough, and finally, 6. Fixing our cities. This structure is going to give you the secret code you need.
Okay, let's dive into this. Starting with Section 1, City Transport, the good stuff. Let's start on a positive note, right? Because getting around a big metropolis can actually be quite an adventure when the systems work well. Our source material features this fantastic tour from a local resident named Carol, and she introduces us to the 4 main ways she gets around her city. First up, there's the bus. She actually takes this to work in the morning because the routes are super easy to understand. Then you've got the subway, which connects all the major parts of the city. On the weekends, and I love this, for a more relaxing trip with a beautiful view of the skyline, she actually takes a ferry right across the river. And finally, for late nights or if the weather turns bad, she relies on taxis. To describe these different systems, Carol uses 2 absolutely crucial adjectives that you should definitely add to your vocabulary right now. The first one is reliable. If something is reliable, it works well and it can be trusted. Carol notes that her city's bus system is highly reliable because it's literally always on time. The second word is convenient. This basically means it's easy to use and helps you save time. So for Carol, the subway network is super convenient for traveling quickly across town.
And you know, taxis are just everywhere, right? They're a brilliant option, especially when you're in a rush, maybe carrying a bunch of heavy bags, or if you just happen to get caught in a sudden rainstorm. The drivers know the city like the back of their hand and can get you exactly where you need to go.
Moving right along to Section 2, rush hour, the bad.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it shows a daily reality every Brazilian city dweller knows all too well. Look at that massive, overwhelming traffic jam. This perfectly defines what we call rush hour. Rush hour is that specific, chaotic time of day, usually in the morning when everyone's rushing to work, and in the evening when everyone's exhausted and just trying to get home. It makes the roads and public transport incredibly busy and crowded. During rush hour, that city convenience we just talked about, it completely disappears.
Which brings us to Section 3, countable versus uncountable nouns. Time to open up our grammar toolkit.
So, how do we actually talk about these massive city headaches in English? Well, we need special rules. I want you to actively think about this one with me for a second. Can you count cars? Can you literally point and say 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars? Yes, absolutely. Can you count people or books? For sure. Those are countable nouns. Now, ask yourself, can you count traffic? Can you say 1 traffic, 2 traffics? No way, that sounds completely wrong, right? What about pollution or snow or money? You can't put a number directly in front of them. These are uncountable nouns. Knowing this exact difference is the absolute master key to everything we're going to learn next.
Section 4, too much and too many.
Now that we know our nouns, let's look at how we describe big, negative quantities. Let's contrast 2 different street scenes. In one, you have a street completely jammed with gridlock. Because the word traffic is uncountable, our grammar rule says we have to use too much. So we say there is too much traffic. But in the other scene, you see a street lined with specific individual vehicles. Because the word cars is countable, we use too many. So we say there are too many cars. Both phrases describe the exact same negative problem, but the noun actually changes the word we use. And this brilliantly illustrates another massive city problem. See the dark smoke pouring out of that old, slow bus? Our source material points out that these buses cause a huge issue. And since pollution is an uncountable noun, just like traffic or snow, we apply our new rule. We say there is too much pollution. It's a really fantastic expression to describe a super common issue in big, bustling cities.
All right, Section 5, not enough. We just learned how to complain when a quantity is way too big. But what happens when the quantity is too small, and that creates a problem? Listen to this quote from our source. There just isn't enough parking. This is the perfect expression. When you need more of something but you just don't have it, you use not enough. Notice how naturally that flows? Imagine you're driving around in circles. You're super frustrated, and you confidently complain to your friend, "Man, there just isn't enough parking in the city." We can also use adjectives to describe these problems. Say a beach is covered in trash, you can say it's too dirty. But you can express the exact same negative problem by flipping it and saying it is not clean enough. Or if a car costs $300,000, it is too expensive. Or you could say it's not cheap enough. Both structures point out that something is definitely wrong, and they are incredibly useful for your everyday English conversations. Finally, Section 6, Fixing Our Cities. Let's move to and see how this builds, because complaining is easy, right? But let's actually move from identifying problems to talking about real solutions. To suggest improvements, we use 3 magic words: more, fewer, and less. For things we desperately want to increase, we say we need more, like we need more public transportation. For countable nouns we want to decrease, like cars, we say there should be fewer cars. And for uncountable nouns we want to decrease, like pollution, we say there should be less pollution. Take a beautiful green bicycle path, for instance. Bicycle lanes are a countable noun. You can literally count them. So if we want to make our city healthier and greener, we can confidently declare, we need more bicycle lanes. This keeps bicyclists safe from all those cars and taxis and gives everyone a highly efficient alternative to driving during that terrible rush hour. And some cities are taking pretty drastic measures to achieve this. Our sources share a fascinating, kind of mind-blowing fact about Singapore. To ensure there is less traffic and fewer cars on the road, people in Singapore actually need to buy a special, expensive certificate before they're even allowed to purchase a car. And guess what? There aren't enough certificates for everyone. It's strict, for sure, but it's a highly efficient way to manage a metropolis. So, bringing it all back home to you. Think about where you live right now in Brazil. Using this brand new grammar toolkit, how would you describe it? What does your city have too much of? Is it traffic, noise, pollution? And what does it need more of? More bicycle lanes, more subway stations, maybe more parking? I really want you to take these structures out into the real world today and start analyzing your city in English. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep up the fantastic effort and happy learning.